Alright, so first question, we got a mean, median, mode problem. Alright, remember, what's another word for mean? Y'all remember the other word for mean? Average. Alright, good. Alright, so average means we add all my numbers up and then divide by the total number. Alright, so first thing I always do is count how many numbers I got up here. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I know I'm going to be dividing by 6 at the end of this. Alright, so first step is adding all of these numbers up. Alright, so let me know what you get when you do that. Alright, but we should be doing 35 plus 14 plus 21 plus 28 plus 35 plus 40. Alright, should get 173. Alright, and then from there we're going to be doing 173 divided by 6. Alright, because there's 6 total numbers up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so I'm going to divide by 6 and I get 28.3. Alright, so 28.83, my bad. Alright, 28.83. So that's how many points did the team average per game. Alright, that's how many points they average per game. 28.83. Anybody get anything different? Alright. Good, so that's mean. That's mean. Alright, now we got median. Alright, median. What's the first step of median? What I gotta do first? What we gotta do first for median? What's the first rule? Somebody? Order from least to greatest. Thank you. Alright, order from least to greatest. That's my first thing I gotta do. Alright, so we should have 14, 21, 28, 35, 35, and 40. Alright. Now, what's going to end up being my situation with the median? Cross out 1, cross out 1. Cross out 1, cross out 1. What's left in the middle?
28.35.
Alright, so what's the rule when I end up with 2 numbers in the middle? Add them up and then... Nice, good. Alright, so we got 28 plus 35. That's 63. And then I'm going to divide by 2. 31.5. Alright. 31.5 is my median. If you got something different, let me know so we can fix it. Alright, mode is easy. Alright, I just look at it. What's my mode? 35. It pops up twice. Mode means most often. Mode means most often. I see 35 twice up there. Alright, and then range, what's my rule for range?
This is the difference between the lowest and highest values.
Alright, so what I need to put in the calculator?
40 minus 14.
Good. 40. Yep, biggest minus smallest. 40 minus 14. Alright, what's going to give me 26? Alright, so my range is 26. Good. Alright, so those are my answers right there. If I got anything different, then y'all let me know. Okay? Alright, so first things first. Like you said, 3 times 7 to start. Alright, so 3 times 7 is what? Alright, so what goes here is my 1. I carry my 2. Alright. Now I got 3 times 4. 3 times 4. What's 3 times 4? Plus my 2 that I carried? 14. Carry my 1. Alright. Now I got 3 times 1.
You said 3 times 1?
Yep. Plus my 1 is 4.
Yes, I was doing it right.
There you go. Alright, now, these 2 right here, I need to cross those out so I don't reuse those again. That's where y'all usually mess up at. Alright, so now, first thing that goes here is what? On the new line. Before I start multiplying, what I got to do?
Placeholder.
Yep, placeholder. Boom. Alright, now I can start my multiplication for the second line. 2 times 7 Okay, boom. Alright, now I got 2 times, my bad, I got to carry my 1. 2 times 7 is 14. Carry my 1. Alright, and now I got 2 times 4, which is what? Plus my 1 that I carried. Alright, and then the last step is 2 times 1, which is 2. Good. Alright. Good, I got to add. Alright, so I'm just going to rewrite them over here on the right so I don't get into this problem over here. So my first digit is 1. 4 plus 4 is 8. 4 plus 9 is what?
13.
Alright, 13. I'm going to carry my 1. And now 1 plus 2 is...
Ew, Mr. Wilson, why are you writing it on the side like that?
So I don't write on top of this problem right here. Does that throw you off?
I mean, yeah, but it's fine if you're saying it. Then it's not.
I'll just write it right here so it'll mess you up. Alright, 13. Carry my 1. Alright, and then I got 2 plus 1 is what? 3. Good. Now the last step is figuring out where my decimals go. How do I know where the decimals go? How do I know where my decimal goes right here?
There's 3 behind the decimals.
Good. There's 3 numbers up here behind the decimal. 1, 2, and 3. Alright, so it has to repeat down here. If there's 3 numbers behind the decimal up here, that's what it needs to be down here. So decimal goes there. Alright. So there's my answer. Okay, any questions? Absolute value. Alright. Remember, what does absolute value mean? What does it mean when I have these brackets right here? These absolute value brackets. Huh? Everything inside of it is positive. Good. Alright, so now the question will say which represents the distance from point A to point B. First thing I need to do is figure out what that distance is. Alright, so I start at point A and I just count over. 1, 2, 3. So I know that I'm looking for which one of these operations, these expressions right here equals positive 3. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. Alright, so let's talk about the first one. I know that my distance right here is 3. Alright, I know that my distance is 3. The absolute value of 2 plus 4, what is that?
6.
Good, 6. Because 2 plus 4 is 6. Anything inside of my absolute value brackets is positive, so it's 6. Alright, now what we got? 3 minus 6, what does that equal? Negative 3. So that one's out, right? So the first one's out, and the second one's out. Alright. Then we got 4 minus 7, the absolute value of 4 minus 7. Alright, so we get the absolute value of negative 3, which equals what? 3. Which also is my distance. Okay? Absolute value of negative 3 is 3. Alright, so C would have been my choice. Alright, that's absolute value. Any questions on absolute value? Alright. What is the distance from point A to point B? That's the first thing I figure out. Start from A and count over. 1, 2, 3. Now I got to figure out which expression equals a positive 3. Alright. Just you on the study version of it? Yeah, so you can just look at the explanations. Once you read the explanations, you're good. Good. There you go. And I like those because they kind of resemble the types of questions that's on the test too. Alright, now, functions. Alright. What's my one rule for functions? If I say what is a function? Good. X values cannot repeat. Alright, which column is my X values? Left column, good. X, Y, X, Y, X, Y. Alright, so if I say circle the ones that are a function. Circle the ones that are a function. Alright, which ones would I be circling? What would I be circling if I'm saying circle all options that are a function? If that's my rule, X values can't repeat. Which one of those follow this rule of X values can't repeat? Anybody? X values can't repeat. So which one is a function? Okay. Yep. So we see a repeating value here, right? Boom. Boom. That's not a function. All right. No repeating here, right? 3, 5, 7, 9. All right. That one's good. All right. Let's check the last one. Do we see any repeating values? Boom. Boom. That one's out. Not a function. Not a function. If I see repeating values, it's not a function. Not a function. All right. That's functions. All right. Yep. B is not a function, or C is not a function because of this right here. Repeating X values. All right. Repeating X values make it not a function. Not a function. All right, that's it for the review. All right, now we're going to move on, all right, to some calculator stuff. All right, so there's a couple ways you can get percentage questions. You can get one like this, where it simply just says find 8% of 68. All right. The original way in high school, you taught to multiply this, turn this to a decimal, and then multiply it by that. But you don't even have to do that with this calculator. All right. You don't have to do that. All right. So in your calculator, if you look on your calculator, everybody grab your calculator. All right. Do you see these green percent signs? Green percent signs. All right. In order to get to those buttons, I need to press second though. All right. So the first thing I'm gonna do is type in the percentage that I see. It says 8% of 68. 8% of 68. So first thing I need to type in my calculator is 8%. So I'm gonna type 8, second, and then left parentheses to get my percent sign. All right. %, and then I just type in the number right beside it. I can either multiply it by that number or just type it right beside it. I like to just do 8%, all right, and then the number 68. And that's how I get my answer. 8% of 68 right there. Or if I want to do the if I'm used to in my head, I know that I need to multiply something, all right, 8% times 68, and I get the same number. All right, if I need to, in my head, multiply that, you can. All right, but that's how you do percentages in the calculator. Now, another way I can get a question is they can say, what percent is 35 of 80? All right, what percent is 35 of 80? All right, when they give me this, I need to set up a fraction. All right, anytime you see the word of like that, 35 of, that's like saying 35 out of 80. If I got 35 out of 80 questions right on the test, and I wanted to find my grade, what percentage that was, all right? Yep, 35 divided by 80. 35 divided by 80. So go ahead and do that in your calculator. 35 divided by 80. All right. So you get 0.4375, right? But we want to know the percentage, right? Not a decimal. So we need to convert this to a percentage. All right. Here's the other way that you use the percent buttons on here. Right beside that original percent button, there's another one right beside that. It's an arrow pointing to a percent sign. That's my convert to a percentage button. All right, that's my convert to a percentage button. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit second. Once I find my decimal, I hit second and then the right parentheses to convert to a percentage. And then I hit enter. All right, that's how I convert. So my answer is 43.75%. All right. So if I'm converting to a percentage, converting a decimal or a fraction to a percentage, that's what I do. Second, right parentheses. All right. If I'm trying to find a percent, then I just press the left one, left parentheses. But when I already found the answer and I'm trying to convert that to a percentage, that's what I use, the right one. All right. So I'm gonna put a couple up here. All right, and y'all can just work through these in your calculator just to get used to it. All right, because what's going to happen is this is the basic skill, The application of it is when you start to get money problems and they start talking about tax and discounts and simple interest. I equals PRT. Alright. What you don't have to memorize is on the formula sheet. Alright, but that's the application of it. This is just the basic skill. Alright, this is the basic skill. Alright, so I'm going to give you a couple of problems. 3% of 90. Alright, so I'm going to check my work here. Alright, so first one says 3% of 90. So I should have been doing 3, second, left parentheses to get my 3%. Alright, times 90. Alright, I get 2.7. 2.7. Alright, if you struggle with that, this is what you should have typed in the calculator right here. 3% times 90. Alright, so I get 2.7. Alright, next one. 12% times 75. 12% times 75. I get 9. Alright, should have got 9. Alright, if I didn't type in multiplication, I could have just did 12% and then 75. I get the same thing. Whichever way works best for you. Alright, and then the last one was 25% of 200. So 25% times 200. And I should have got 50. Alright, should have got 50. Please let me know if you didn't get any of those answers or one of them you messed up on. Alright, if you messed up on those, let me know. But the worst thing you can do is just follow along confused. So let me know if you're confused. Alright. Alright, so now I'm going to give you 3 of the other examples. What we just talked about. The second example I showed. Alright. Alright. So set it up as a fraction. And then we did second, right parenthesis. Next one. 200. Alright. Divided by 400. Because it says 200 of 400. Alright. Hit enter. Alright. And then to convert this to a percentage, we hit second. And then the right parentheses to get convert to percentage. Alright. 50%. 50%. Alright. Now we got 94 of 300. Alright, so 94 divided by 300. Enter. And then second, right parentheses. 31.3. 31.3%. Anybody get anything different? Anybody get anything different?
When you convert them to percentages?
Yep. Once you do that, convert to percentage. Second, right parentheses. Alright. Alright, so there's a couple of things, couple of keywords that pop up when it comes to money and percents. Alright, so I'll start us off with one. Alright, tax. If you see the word tax, this is a percentage problem. Alright, and as you see, I got them broken down in categories. Alright, because what happens is once you find a percentage, alright, this word is going to tell you whether you add it to your price or you subtract it from your price. Alright, who can think of another T word that is added to prices of something? Think about if you are at a restaurant.
Tax?
We got tax. There we go. Tip. Good.
Yeah.
Tip. Tip. All right. So we got taxes are added to my price. Tips are added to my price. All right. And then another word that doesn't pop up as much, but you need to know it if it pops up, is the word appreciate, which means the value of something is increasing. Appreciate. Alright. So I got tax, tips, and appreciate. Alright, on the right side. On the right side. I'm going to start us off with this. A sale. Alright. A sale. There's a word that starts with a D that means the same thing as this. What is it? Deduct, that does mean take away, but think about percentages. Think about percentages. If you go to the store and you see the price tag says something, or you use a gift card because you can get start with a D. Discount, there we go. Discount. Probably was a terrible explanation of hints, but I was trying. All right, discounts. All right. Another word or another phrase is percent off. So I'll just use an example, like 50% off. That's an example. It can be any percent off. All right, but if you see something percent off, I'm taking that away from my price. All right. And then the last one, which is the opposite of appreciate, which is depreciate. So an example of appreciate and depreciate real quick. All right. Let's say I got an Xbox, right? The new Xbox just came out. Let's say they come out with another one. All right. If for some reason they stopped the production of those, and you was one of the main people who got them before they stopped making them, all right, you could go sell that Xbox at the price that you brought it for, and you can make so much more money off it because they don't make them no more. All right, it's going to be an exclusive product. So now the value of that Xbox appreciates. That's what that means. I can now sell this at a price that higher than I paid for.
So what you're saying is depreciate means like, let's say the product goes sale for like $350, and the product doesn't become rare over time. I guess you could say that.
Right.
And if anything, the price value of that product will go down. That's depreciate.
That's depreciate. The perfect example is a used car. You can't sell a used car at the price that you brought it for because it has mileage on it. So the value of that price, if I brought it for $50,000, I can't sell it for $50,000 if I got 50,000 miles on it. Nobody gonna pay that. They would be stupid if they did. All right. So that value depreciated. All right. So those are my main terms that I see on there. All right. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write a couple word problems, and we're gonna. Let's look at this right here. It says the car was originally $75,000. All right, the car depreciated by 10%. How much is the car worth now? All right, so first step. All right, I want y'all to think about problems like this. I know I see percentages. All right, I know I see numbers here. All right, so what I like to do, I want y'all to get used to finding these key things in these problems. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna box in this price right here. All right, you don't have to write it, but I'm just gonna get you used to doing it. And I'm gonna box in my percent. That way those things stand out to me. I don't have to look for them in the problem. All right, and then what's my term here that's my keyword that tells me what I'm gonna do? Out of these ones that I wrote down, what do I see here? What's my keyword in this problem? The car what? Yep, depreciated. Good. I'm gonna underline that. All right, car depreciated. All right, so now what goes in the calculator? This is the magic question. All right, so in the calculator, all right, this is just like what we did earlier when we found a percentage of a number. All right, I got to find 10% of 75,000. All right, so in the calculator, I should be typing in 10%.
7,500.
Nope, 75,000.
Yeah, 7,500.
No, two different numbers.
No, I was talking about the outline. I'm sorry.
You good. All right, so I need to be doing. Oh, you was talking about the number. I got you.
Yeah, I was talking about the number.
My bad. I was like, nah, that's not it. All right, so I should have did this in the calculator. All right, so I'm just gonna do it up here. 10%. Whoops. 10% times 75,000. And yes, like Brandon said, 7,500. All right, 7,500.
Why not do that from the beginning, though?
All right. So that equals $7,500. Now, my problem is not done. Don't get it confused. My problem is not done. All I did was find out what was 10% of 75,000. The last step, all right, is this right here. Am I adding or subtracting? This is the category. This is the category. So I need to take this amount from my original price. So in my calculator, I need to do 75,000 minus my new number that I just found. All right, so go ahead and type that in. 75,000 minus 7,500. And I should get this.
Oh, okay. So you need to just subtract the number you started off at the beginning from the number that you resulted in this.
Other way around, but yep. Subtract this from the original. Alright. So now I get my new price. So now that makes sense. If my price depreciated, alright, the value of the car went down. Alright, I know that it has to be less than 75,000. So if I get a number bigger than that, I know I did something wrong. So my new selling price of this car is 67,500. That's my new selling price. That's the value. Alright. I'm going to write another one. Looking at this problem right here. TV costs $300. I'm going to box that in. Alright, and on your test you'll be able to highlight. You can highlight, use the highlighter tool. Alright. And then there's an 8% tax. 8% tax. Alright. 8% tax. So first things first, I got to find what's 8% of 300. So go ahead and do that. Somebody let me know what you get. Alright, so let's see. 300, my bad, 8%, I'll keep doing that, times 300, alright, good, 24. Alright, so that tells me how much money I'm paying in taxes. Sorry, so I just got 8% times 300, and that equals $24 now. Alright. So if the question was simply, how much was it what I pay in taxes? This is my answer. Alright. If they ask me how much was the tax, this is my answer.
Yeah, but they're asking for the I forgot what it's called.
Total cost.
Yeah, total cost. So you would use 300 subtracted by 24.
Well, what would I do if it's a tax? What happens with a tax? Increase my price, right? So I would do what? Add it. Good. So I'm adding 24 plus 300 to get my total price. All right. 24 plus 300. What's that going to give me?
324.
Nice. 324. All right. There's my answer. Tax tells my price is going to go up. All right. So be careful whether they ask me how much. If they ask me just how much is the tax, I would have been done after the first step. All right, but they didn't just ask me how much was the tax. They asked me what was the total cost. All right. All right, so again, I'm going to read the question. There is a bed on sale, 25% off, I'll box it in, at the warehouse. How much money would I save on this $450 bed? All right, so just like I said, first things first, I got to find my percentage. So in my calculator, I need to go 25% times 450. 25% times 450. What do I get? 25% times 450. Let me know what you get.
337.5. Oh, top multiplying.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, yes, 30%. Right.
So do you did 25% times 450?
No, I did 25% of 450.
Mm-mm.
So like, you know where it says 25%, then
Yeah.
450 on something.
Did you get? You should have got this right here. 112.5. $112.50.
Yeah.
All right. So that equals 112.50. Now, let's think about this. What did the question say? What's the last question?
So last question.
Yep. What's the last question right here?
How much money would I save on this $400?
All right. So that means
Save.
all I'm looking for is my discount.
Yeah.
So, am I done? If that's all I gotta find is my discount?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. See, I did 450 minus 112.5.
Which is the what? What is that? What's that number you just told me? The fact that you subtracted it, right? What does that give you? What you just told me? You was trying to figure it out. That gives me my total cost. That's how much I paid for it. What you just gave me. This is my discount right here.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's because you have money subtracted.
Yep, this is my discount. This is how much money I saved. Now, if I said how much did I pay for the bed, then that's when you would take this number and subtract it from 450. All right, but the fact that it only asked me how much money I saved, which is my discount. So I'm done after the first step. All right, but you got to pay attention to what they asked. Did they ask me how much money did I pay, or what was the total cost, or did they just ask me how much was the discount, or how much did I save, which means the same thing. All right, good. All right, let's do another one. All right, here we go. So we got Tim wants to get a haircut that costs $35. How much would a 15% tip be? How much would a 15% tip be? So remember, they're not asking me how much did he pay. They're asking what is a 15% tip. If the haircut costs $35, I want to tip the barber 15%. I want to figure out how much would I be tipping him, because he did such a good job. First step is always the same with these problems, y'all. Always the same. I gotta figure out my number with the percentages. You can call out of them if you already got it. Anybody think they know how much the tip will be? It's okay to be wrong if you call out something.
$5.25.
Good, $5.25%. All right, so I got $35 times my 15%, or the other way around, 15% times 35. You get the same thing. All right, and I get 5.25, which is $5.25. That's my problem done. They say how much is the tip, which is this right here. I have my information. Now, if I was to take a step further and say, how much would I pay in total? What would that be? How much would I pay in total? What's the last step then, if they ask me that? How much would I pay in total? Add. Good. What would I add? 35 plus.
$5.25.
Good. And what would that give me, sir?
$40.25.
There we go. Right on. $40.25. All right, so that's the biggest thing with these money percent problems. All right, I gotta pay attention to what are they asking me in the question. All right, don't just go start solving. Highlight my important information. So right here, box in my $35, 15% tip. Box that in, or highlight on the test. Highlight. All right, you need to know which words you're dealing with. All right, and then it says how much would the tip be?